certainly very excited to have you. I appreciate your response to us on this. This is something that is very much a hobby for us. And we have fun with it. Like I said, like Rusty just said with the drinking thing, like we're having drinks. This is fun. It's supposed to be a fun conversation that's just relaxed, and feel free to talk as long as you would like on a specific subject. If we bring up something that really hits home for you, just roll with it, and we'll figure out how to trim the show going forward to make sure that we don't go too long or whatever. So that's kind of the way we manage this.
Yep. Very much open-ended. There is no commercial break. There's no nothing else. If you're riffing, if you're talking,
we don't read any commercials.
Just do it. And we don't edit, and we don't trim anything out. So as soon as I press record, all the way up until I press stop,
and
that's it.
As of yet, we've stayed non-explicit on iTunes, but we have misbehaved at times. If there's some language that you'd like to use, you think makes a better point for the subject, feel free to use it. But we do. We're not going to say the F word every other sentence,
right?
So like we do in real life.
Yeah. So we got a few folks on. I see Roger and Stacy and Mr. Matt DiBenedetto fan or Miss. I'm not sure if I ever knew.
Matt DiBenedetto fan?
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't know if that is a Miss or Mr.
And Matt DiBenedetto fan said they got him on after their suggestion. So awesome. And another college student, Mr. He says, all right, Matt DiBenedetto fan. I never want to project that onto anyone, but I kind of had a feeling.
Yep.
So awesome. What's up, Beast? Beast is always on for these things, so great to have you, Beast. Let's see. We've got a bit of an audience here getting settled in. Hey, everybody. Stacy.
Shannon says, I'm at Target. Don't start without me. Sorry, Shannon. You're on the West Coast. It's unavoidable.
Yeah. Well, tell her question's coming in about maybe 35 minutes or so, lightning round.
Yep.
So we'll be sure to hold that one there. See, Stacy joined. Awesome. Matthew Todd. What's up, Matthew? Tuesday nights have gotten a lot cooler, my man. Tarjay, says Roger. Thank you very much. Okay. Got a few folks on, hanging out. Sarah Anbari. What's up, Sarah? Good to see you. Let's do this thing. You ready, Sherwin?
Why not?
Brandon, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So, like I said, when we press record, it will probably go out on you for maybe 60 to 90 seconds, but you'll hear us come right back. So here goes. We are recording now. Welcome, y'all! That's right. This is the Pregame Engineering Tailgate Mayor Racing Podcast, episode number 198. It's Tuesday, June 4th, 2019. I'm Tailgate Mayor Rusty Wallace. I'm in the PTM Podcast studio with Pregame Engineer Andrew Sherwin. Dude, happy June!
Happy June.
We're here. It's
all
summertime.
Of a sudden, it's summer. And we actually had a couple really nice days that weren't very, very hot after having some ridiculous 95 degrees.
No kidding. We had summer May, and now we're having a spring June. We'll see how long that lasts. We got a great guest on for you tonight. Really excited to have him on. You'll meet him here in just a second, but right up till then, y'all know what the deal is. This podcast is sponsored by you. That's right. You go to patreon.com/PTM. Join the What You Drink Club for as little as $1 a month and get that free koozie. Sherwin, I just sent koozies out to all the new people. Or emails. Check your email if you haven't.
Thank you for doing that. I got pretty bad about that.
Best part is every cent this year, once again, we're donating to sponsoring drivers. So join the PTM Posse today. Be a part of the sport you love. This week's show brought to you by our official sponsors at the $5 and up per month level. Those are Laura Henshaw, Aaron Burton, Robert Kemmel, your Coleman McClamer, Kevin Ryan Kiefer, Patrick Cleary, Jeff Brown, Brandon Croud, Kathleen McDonald, Stacey Wright, Brandon Carl, Rika Porter, Jumpy Bob, Les Miller, Tommy Witt, Julie Bosnick, John Pearson, Eddie Gritter III, Young Motorsports, David Mullins, Patrick Johnson, Brett Morris, Crystal Smoke, Fred Rosado, Chad Knappen, Stacy Coleman, Matthew Kemper. I had to do it. Lisa Shanana and Rick Houston. We'll try again next week for the one-breather, but boy, that breath is getting long. Sure.
No kidding. And Lisa has actually been interacting quite a bit with the podcast lately, as of recent. And so that's pretty cool.
She responded very quickly when I sent out the emails to get the koozies and stickers and everything. So, Lisa, it is in the mail, along with Chad. Chad, the stickers and koozies and stuff, everything's in the mail. If you haven't received something from us, look in your email inbox. And if you're expecting it and you don't have something in the email inbox, send us a note, and we'll make sure to get it out to you ASAP. So, with that, Sherwin, I'm excited about our guest tonight. This is going to be awesome. So,
well, absolutely. And anybody that clicks on the link that we sent out via the Twitter, on the YouTube, stick around for a while and talk on the wall. We got a lot of cool people that interact there, and we pay attention to it.
That's right. So we want to welcome to the show NASCAR Xfinity driver of the number 86 car. He's a graduate of Coastal Carolina University, racing for a team that consistently gets the most out of his car, finishing P13 this last week in Pocono. On Twitter, at Brandon Brown _86. Welcome to the show, Brandon Brown. Brandon, what is happening?
Not a whole lot. How are you?
We're doing awesome, man. It's a good evening. It feels good. I've got the AC pumping a little bit, but it might not even be needed if I just roll up these windows or something, Sherman. Yeah, great night for hanging out and having a couple of cold pops and doing our thing, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Brandon, we start the show off the same way every time. You were warned. What you drinking tonight?
Well, I guess I had to be honest. And right after dinner, my girlfriend talked me into having a little Bud Light Platinum. So I guess that.
All right, going with the Platinum too.
Oh yeah, I actually like that. I bought that a few times. It was not bad at all.
Bud Light Platinum. I don't think it comes in that black bottle, or that black kind of can
it's
bottle.
It's very blue.
The blue, like okay. Really dark blue glass.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks really neat under UV light.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it really kind of glows.
Okay, I'll have to give it the old college try here in a bit. Sherwin, what are we drinking on?
Jim Beam and Coke Zero.
Yeah,
pretty standard for us.
Coke Zero sugar, a little Jim Beam.
Delicious.
And the final, I think I said it last week, the final delivery of my Beer of the Month Club has come in.
I haven't looked at what you gave me.
I've got a Sprecher. Been to that brewery up
Spreaker?
in Wisconsin.
I think it's Spreaker.
Yeah,
I think that's what they call it, is Spreaker.
Cool. And
I've got an Elliotville IPA.
That's right, because we looked it up last night. Elliotville was not last night, last episode, last week, because that's in New York there, and we couldn't figure out if that was upstate, if it's like
we had this whole entire conversation where we sounded like idiots trying to describe New York State geography, which is fine.
That's the way the PETM podcast goes there, Brandon. So, Brandon, we'll get into the weekend shortly. We'll get into all the other stuff shortly, but let's go ahead and get your backstory. Introduce yourself to the PETM posse. Let the folks know how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, so I guess just a little bit of background is I started racing at 10 years old. I ran go-karts at a track in King George, Virginia, a little bit south of Fredericksburg, where our shop is located now. Ran go-karts up until the age of 16, which I then jumped into a late model stock car at Old Domain Speedway, which is now, I think, an apartment complex. And then went from those to the NASCAR Camping World Gander Outdoor Truck Series. Sorry about that.
You don't have to apologize to us. We'll make that mistake.
It changes so much. I don't know. And from that to the NASCAR XFinity Series. So that's the really, really short version. But, yeah, we did the hop, skip, and a jump. We didn't, I didn't take the right strides of bandos and legends and then late models and K&N and I don't know. There's so many in between that we just kind of hop, skipped, and jumped our way up.
What was the biggest transition for you from one to the next one? Like go-karts to whatever was next, or trucks to Xfinity? What one was like the biggest kind of, holy smokes, I don't know how to do this?
Yeah, honestly, it was from late models to trucks. And, surprisingly, because I thought the go-karts to late models was going to be a pretty big swing just because you're going from a go-kart into a full-size, full-body late model stock.
Right.
Asphalt late model stock. But honestly, the biggest transition was into the truck series, and that was just because I was used to running at a track that's local here in Manassas, Virginia, and then I ran a little bit in Kinley, North Carolina at Southern National Motorsports Park, and a little bit at Motor Mile, which is like Southwest Virginia, Christiansburg, Radford area. I went from those small tracks, short tracks, not a huge crowd in the grandstands, to the truck series, and I wasn't used to all the background stuff. I wasn't used to going out and doing meet and greets and people wanting my autograph. I was like, you probably don't even know who I am. I cover my belt, and you're like, who's this kid? But it would still kind of stay true to this year. No, no. So I guess that it was wild, and then you kind of see people that you grew up watching. Like for me, it was like when I was starting the race against Johnny Sauter and Matt Crafton. It was like I've watched you guys on TV quite a bit. And now we're racing together, so, it was just kind of a little bit of starstruck, a little bit of, just being brand new to it. And then, I had never driven something of that weight and power.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
I think what a lot of people don't know that maybe listen to this that aren't like super students of the game, and I'm still trying to figure it out myself, but late models are so much lighter than NASCAR Touring Series cars. They're almost half as light.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I feel like you brought up something that I haven't heard before, but makes a lot of sense. Well, I heard from another driver before, but like the crowd aspect, like even being in a stadium, if you will, for racing, and then the fans that are there, and then like you said, the autograph side. Almost as big a transition as going from one car to another. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah, no, it's wild. You're not used to that amount of fans wanting to engage with you, because usually when I was going to the local short tracks, usually it was friends and family that came over and said hi, and jokingly, they'd make me sign anything they'd pick up on the way. I'd signed everything from lunch trays to the back of shirts, baseball jerseys. I was like, this isn't baseball. And then you go over to like the real NASCAR side, where they've got hero cards, and people are coming up with track die-cast cars and a bunch of different things, mini helmets. It's just a little bit of a change, and I was like, oh man, my signature sucks. when I finally kind of first started doing this, I was like trying to write slowly in cursive like I tried to do in elementary school, but it ended
Have
up
you
not
signed
being
any
legible anyway,
boobs?
so I was like, all right, well, we're just gonna scribble.
We've talked about that, I think, Sherwin, where I don't think I could be a sports figure just for solely the signature part, because my signature changes every time I write it. I don't know how people have. You've seen Joey Logano's signature. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah,
every time.
He's very good at replicating it.
Yeah. I don't know what I would do. It's a different one every time.
Have you signed for a tattoo before?
No, I haven't done that.
I've heard of that.
Signed for a tattoo.
Yeah.
Well, I think you will at some point. Because I think you're going to do well enough for it.
I don't know if somebody would want that, because I honestly used to watch, like, sometimes, like, when we lay in the hotel rooms at night and you're just kind of scrolling through cable TV to find something local on. I used to watch, like, that show Pawn Stars came up a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And people would bring in these autographed items, baseball cards, bats, they'd bring in footballs and stuff, and they'd have a specialist come in and analyze the signature, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's real. Like, look at this. And this. I was like, shoot, like, they'd look at it would be a real signature of mine, and they'd be like, no, it's fake.
Yeah,
it's nowhere near this one.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm surprised they let me buy a house, because you have to sign like 15, maybe 100 different times. And I'm like, if you went back and looked, you'd be like, well, there had to be 4 people in the room there signing these things. This can't be legit. So,
well, the weird one to me is when you like have to sign something like a receipt that has like a really narrow window.
Yeah,
and I'm like, all right, well, my regular signature is like it's pretty voluptuous.
Yeah,
you can't read my name from it unless you knew what my name was. But like, if I have to like carve it into this narrow little window, like. It's not good.
I am notorious, and I have made many cashiers bust out laughing that on the electronic signature pads, I always sign with an X.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a big old X.
And he signs that, like that fish X.
Yeah,
the one where
you're
like, where one side's curled and one side's an X. And I laugh every time I see him do it.
What I need to do next time, when I get my next, when they send me a new credit card, I'm going to put an X on the back as my signature so that if they're like, all right, let me see your credit card, I'll be like, boom, see there?
Yeah. Well, I guess the chip is probably going to eliminate that even needing to be a thing, but that would be funny.
Yeah, yeah. So something you said.
Yeah, if you look at my license, mine looks like I fell over halfway through signing the thing, or I sneezed or something. So now, if somebody were to like compare my signature to my license, I'd be like, I don't know, like ask the DMV. It's that one.
Something you said earlier, Brandon, that got me thinking. There's nothing more redneck that I can think of than stealing a lunch tray and then having your local driver sign it for you.
Yeah, right? That's pretty funny.
I like that.
I mean,
that hit a chord.
I remember kids in high school used to steal them and put them under the rear tires if they had a front wheel drive car.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Break up and slide around, but lo and behold, stealing it so that somebody can sign it at a racetrack.
Signing a lunch tray.
So for all of you out there looking to have a little bit of fun, if you have a front wheel drive car, snatch the e-brake and put some trays under your rear wheels, and you will actually get to experience what rear-wheel drive breaking loose and doing donuts actually is.
It's a load
and
of fun.
And if anybody listening goes to the racetracks and you bring a lunch tray for me to sign, I will laugh so hard.
Oh, that's done. This is going to be your thing now. You realize that? This is going to be your thing.
You're the lunch tray guy.
Yeah. It's going to be lunch trays from now on. I love it. Well, with that, Sherwin, let's go ahead and break it down. It's time for the report card. And as everybody knows, we went to Pocono we didn't physically go. One person here physically went, and one person here happened to have a excellent finish, P13 there. We know it's a unique track, Brandon. Tell us about your day, how you managed P13. What's it like racing at Pocono for you?
Yeah. Pocono was different. I had never been there before. I'd been there once before in a truck, which drove completely different, and I'd learned that on lap 1 when I went out, because in the trucks, keeping it close to wide open over the tunnel turn, that's a possibility. It's more than likely what the fast guys are doing, and then, trying to build up as much speed as you can off turn 3 to go down that extremely long straightaway as fast as possible. So it was weird going there with zero baseline to go off of. I played iRacing and I tried it there, but it translated well. But racing there was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I guess you're always going to enjoy a track that you perform decently well at. But it's just 3 totally different sections each place and 3 totally different driving styles per corner. All with the same concept in mind, which is exit the corner as fast as possible.
Take us through a lap at Pocono and the things that you're paying attention to and the lines that you're trying to hit. What it looks like to go around there and then knowing that you have to do it another 80 times
100
or whatever.
times for them, I think.
Yeah. So, I guess starting out, you go down that extremely long front stretch, read a book, catch up on your emails, whatever you want to do.
3,700
You have a
feet.
ton of time. It is a ton of time down that front stretch. Just kidding, though. Don't use your phone in the car. It's bad driving tips. But no, extremely long straightaway. You're building up a lot of speed, especially if you get into the draft with somebody. You build up a ton of run speed going into turn one, where it's the most banking on the track, and you really want to set up that corner well to carry as much speed as you can up to the tunnel turn. A lot of drivers you'll see will make the mistake of driving it in too hard, because you'll see a lot of people that want to, they want to continue carrying that speed, but you have to set yourself up for a good exit, and that's what Pocono is all about. So kind of getting yourself to back up the corner a little bit helps, or at least it helped for my car. Then after you exit that, you're, hauling the mail up to the tunnel turn, where you want to set that up to be where you're wide open through the center of that, over the bumps, so that you can carry speed off of that turn as well. And then it's just a really, really long, flat third turn. Reminds me a lot of the late model track I used to race at Langley in Virginia Beach. Langley, Virginia, but just very flat and, sweeping corner, and you want to carry all the speed you can. I heard some drivers were downshifting. I didn't downshift just because I just felt like it added a lot more risk and it didn't add a whole lot of reward. So my main thing was just making sure that we were getting the exit speed that we needed to try and set up a pass for the next corner.
Yeah, go ahead, Rusty. I was going to say, they definitely showed on television that the Xfinity drivers, some of them, particularly some of the fastest ones, were downshifting, like we've seen in the Cup.
Yeah. But
they talked a lot on Sunday about how the package that they had didn't allow for it. Like it didn't. They weren't given the gear ratio or the horsepower they needed to make any sense. So they stayed in fourth gear the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. Brandon, what was the reaction, after the race and in the holler and stuff and the debrief and everything? Were y'all celebrating pretty hard on the P13 or just another day, or you know what, this is a good step? Where are y'all with that?
Well, everybody was very happy, just because, coming to a track where you don't really have a baseline, you don't really know how it's going to go. Of course, you show up to every track with the drive to want to win. But, when we show up to the tracks like Pocono, where we don't have a baseline, 13th place was really good. Everybody was very happy. Crew chief was happy. My dad was ecstatic. So we were all high fives, but we also were like, can we please place better than 13th? We keep matching this 13th. We want to, our goal for the year has been, we really want to get into the top 10.
Awesome.
We want to crack a top 10 finish. But, we're getting close, and I was really hopeful that it was going to happen at Pocono, because it looked like up in the front, the leaders were getting pretty dicey and pretty racy at the end. So I was hoping to be closer and give somebody a nudge and, maybe make it even more racy than it was. But we were very happy with our finish.
Well, as soon as you do get that top 10 finish, the lunch trays are going to rain down.
Oh, that's right.
We're making this a thing.
Yeah.
By
Brandon
the way.
Brown lunch trays. That is now a thing.
That's right.
Hashtag it, y'all.
Yeah, it's hashtag. It's everywhere. Let's move on to the Cup race. Sherwin, not exactly a classic or a barn burner in terms of what we saw. Kyle Busch pretty much running away, taking a comfortable win there. Ties Rusty Wallace with 55 overall wins. So that's kind of cool.
Hey, it's amazing. We're looking at a 34-year-old that is, I don't even know what to say about it. Like, as much as people,
Rusty's last win was when he was like 47 or something.
Yeah, as much as people don't like him, I mean, golly, this guy is doing some awesome things. And at the same time, while his attitude on the microphone is not great a lot of times, he is like, how many people have come through KBM and are now in Cup? what does he have, like 5 guys that are in Cup now or something?
Yeah, insane. What were you saying, Brandon?
Oh, I was just saying you can't deny the talent. He's
Absolutely.
got it. He knows what he's doing behind the wheel of a car.
Well, and like Sherwin
And
said,
I appreciate his honesty on the mic. I
Yes.
listened into his Radioactive at Charlotte and thought that was hilarious. But, it's one of those things where I can understand the passion and the honesty and everything. And, he's just, sometimes he gets a little far, but, I could dig it.
So we've got confirmation from at least 2 people who are coming to see you with a lunch tray sometime this season. So we're we're making it a thing. We got a question from Mick Rose at GoDucks42_Mick. If there's no changes to the rule package in 2020, does this package make the double at Pocono less desirable? And Mick Rose, I need you to take off running and jump into the nearest lake that you can.
Right. Naked. Not naked. Naked. N-E-K-K-I-D.
Yeah.
Naked.
That was all. That was my family's way of not cussing, but cussing. Say, well, he can just go jump in a lake. So, here's the thing. I expect rule package changes in 2020, and even if there's not, the Pocono double is such a. Here's the thing. They could do it. They could get it wrong next year, and it's going to be a huge thing.
Well, so the PETM posse is going to be down in turn 1 with about 30 people.
Right. That's
and
what I mean.
we're going to be having as good a time as you could possibly have.
That's what I mean. So the fans will make it in 2020. The question is, can NASCAR make it in 2020 and make it, again in 2021?
Absolutely.
But there's nothing that's going to take away. I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about Pocono next year. That's how. I mean,
I want to buy tickets now.
Let's buy tickets now. We'll go buy tickets a little later today.
We're going to fly into Wilkes Bar. And we're going to lift. And it's going to be awesome.
So, Brandon, your thoughts on the Pocono double next year?
Well, I got excited about it because, again, it's one of those things where, I'm a big advocate for more short tracks and more short track style racing. So, kind of reminds me of like the twin nights that we used to run in late models. So I'm for it. I'm curious as to how it's going to go. If I was the shot caller in NASCAR, I'd say, I'm all for this doubleheader weekend, at Pocono, and we're going to do it late model style. You go out, you run you qualify, you run the race. Second race, invert the front half of the field.
There you go.
And go back green racing.
There you go.
Dice it up.
I don't hate that at all.
Right. Especially with the stages. You can do some fun stuff with the stages and everything, too.
I mean, I think in terms of sponsorship and overall, like, monetary value of the event, I think they're going to that's what they're concerned with in terms of doing the inverting thing.
Yep.
And who gets talked about and who doesn't. So we'll have to figure that out. But I think that's a great idea. I also liked Michael Waltrip's idea of, well, if we're going to do a doubleheader weekend, why don't we run the oval and then the next day run the road course?
Right. And so, and for me, this Mick Rose's question here, having to do with what's going to happen and rules package and all that, I think it's very similar. You can draw a comparison to the Roval in terms of everybody knew that this was new, different, and unique. And then I've said it before. I was ready to sit down and watch a total-ish show, and what I saw was a really great race through stage 2. I was like,
but we got to see
this. Really
got to see the shit show at the same time, though. Those two different deals, that one enter in turn 1 and the one finish in the race, but those were exciting as hell.
Yes, absolutely, exactly. We'll move on to second period. Ross Chastain declares for truck, Sherwin. How insane is that? Because he has to win a race and finish in the top 20 with Nice Motorsports in order to qualify for the championship after he's already won a race, but now, declaring
it
now
resets,
you've reset now.
Yeah.
So Al Nice, obviously owner of Nice Motorsports, says, I know it won't be easy, but I believe this team is capable of making the playoffs and competing for a championship with Ross.
So I don't think there's a better person to ask for an opinion about this than Brandon.
Absolutely. Brandon, take it away.
Oh, so this, I mean, when I read that, my jaw hit the ground.
Me
like
too.
I was like, holy cow! Like, what did I just read? I honestly went, because it was on Ross's Instagram page, so I went and clicked it to make sure that I wasn't reading like a spoof page. I was like,
Yep.
no way. Not saying it's a bad move, but I was just like, kind of like, wow. But I mean, I'm pulling for him. I really am. I think that, if, when you have a chance to race to win again, nothing wrong with where he was at in the Xfinity series with JD Motorsports and all those guys. I think it's a great team, great organization, and Ross is obviously he's a wheelman, and when he was put the right equipment under him, he showed that he can go win, and he got in the niche truck and did it as well. So I don't think it'll be that. I don't think that I think they'll be able to pull off what they need to get into the championship rounds in the truck series. So I mean, I'm personally pulling for them. I was a little surprised because I knew that they were doing pretty well in the Xfinity points as well. I mean, they were sitting, I believe, 13th.
Yeah,
I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because I'm 15th, Gray's 14th, and Ross was 13th. So that's why I was a little surprised. I was like, you are right on the bubble there, my guy, to get into the Xfinity playoffs. But I mean, I respect the move. I mean, given the opportunity to go run a race-winning vehicle in one of the three touring series, is that's the dream. You want to win on these big stages. So I don't find his move wrong at all.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. We obviously are big fans of Ross, so we're going to be super supportive. I think it's a little bit weird, just like you alluded to, Brandon, that you would like switch in the mid-year, and I didn't even realize that was an option. In all honesty, I thought you had to declare in January.
That's what our team said when I read that, and I ran out of the office, and I ran into I was right there in the shop, and I'm like, do you believe this? And they're like, you can do that? And I was like, I guess. It looks like they just did it.
Yes, you can. There's not a sign. There's not a rule.
I don't see a sign. Evidently, NASCAR made a adapted decision, which they do a lot, to bring more exposure to a particular series. It makes sense for them to allow this. Ross has only got 9 races to win a race and get in the top 20 in points. And that's going to be really, really hard to do. But how cool will it be if he actually succeeds in doing so?
You know what? For me, I feel like maybe this is the first time he's had racing pressure. He's always been able to outdrive the car that he's in, or the truck or whatever it is, to really, outperform. Now he's set a challenge for himself. Now he's set a challenge and a deadline and everything else. Can we step up and do this? I respect that a lot. What a huge risk to take on. Like Brandon said, he's up in the running in Xfinity, and now we're going to switch this over. Huge risk. I mean,
especially he's got 2 more races in the 10 car, I believe. Which is a little bit better car than the JD Motorsports car he's driving. And what better person to talk to about this than someone who is considered to be someone who outperforms what their equipment level is.
Every time.
So thank you, Brandon, for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Third period, Sherwin. Greg Biffle taking the wheel for Kyle Busch Motorsports.
Oh, this is going to be so cool.
While we're talking about trucks, for Kyle Busch Motorsports.
Oh, they better put 69 on the side of that truck. They better do it. They got to.
They have to. You're exactly right. Brandon, thoughts and predictions for Greg Biffle. If it was Greg Biffle in the, self-sponsored car or whatever it was, but, Kyle Busch Motorsports is going to put him in a good truck. And we really hope it's a 69 car, obviously, for all those reasons before. But thoughts and predictions on Greg Biffle in the Truck Series?
I think Greg's going to have a really strong run. I mean, he's a Cup veteran. He knows. He's going to Texas with, it's, if you know how to drive Texas, you're going to be fine. I know he has already practiced the truck.
Yep. He practiced at Atlanta,
he did really well. So, I think it's going to be hard. Well, I know it's hard when you go from being in a seat to being out of a seat completely and then jumping right back in. It's going to be a bit of added pressure just because, there's a lot of drivers out there that are doing their points battles, drivers that like Ross who have, a big plate that they got to, take care of. And, so it's going to be an interesting race at Texas. I'm hoping that with everything that's going on that it's going to become an aggressive race. But I would not be surprised to see Greg Biffle win in the 69 KBM truck.
I think one of the reasons why this is happening, besides the fact that Greg wants to get back in and do a race, and he was really good in the truck series when he was coming up, is I think Kyle is trying to send a message to Hunter and Todd that, hey, this is what happens when a NASCAR race-winning caliber driver gets in my equipment. So you better go out there and beat him.
It's a win-win. There's no... if he goes out there and he finishes 23rd or whatever, and nothing,
and we know that's not going to happen unless some weird wreck thing goes on.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like it just doesn't work out kind of thing. Everybody parts ways. Everybody was rooting for Greg Biffle. People got his autograph, maybe on a lunch tray, but it was a fun deal. But if he goes out and succeeds, whoa, he's 49 years old too, by the way.
He could easily be the next Ron Hornaday or Ted Musgrave if he wanted to be. And just dominate the truck series for 5 years.
The truck series troubadour kind of guy. Yeah. So really cool. Looking forward to seeing that race. And it's in Texas. So, going in a completely opposite direction, north-south wise, is where the Cup Series and everybody's going. So.
Well, Greg was always good at super speedways. And he was great in trucks. And this is a great way, now that Kyle has already exhausted all of his opportunities to run, and they want to run three trucks most of the time, who better to put in your truck than Greg to teach Todd and Harrison that this is what this truck can do.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll go to fourth period.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It's something that you get to, KBM trucks have, like, in the truck series, those were the trucks to be in. Eric Jones was in it, then Chris Bell got in it, and, it was...
Eric Jones.
Those were the trucks that were winning, week in and week out. And if they weren't winning, then they were in second, but fighting for the win. So, it's one of those things that when they went from that to, now it doesn't look like they're quite performing where the equipment needs to be. I think it's great. It'll be great feedback for for the crew, for the entire KBM crew of what a veteran driver thinks.
Yeah,
it's almost a proving ground of, look, the trucks didn't fall off, or it's a proving ground of, okay, this is what we need to work on.
Yeah, I agree 100% on that, Brandon. I think I think this is a very necessary step for Kyle to prove to his company, hey, when I get out of this car, he's a Hall of Famer. When I get out of this truck, in this case, I need somebody to come in here that we know knows what they're doing and knows how to race. And if Greg ends up finishing top 5, then that will be validation for Kyle that, yeah, our equipment's good, and I need to understand who my driver talent is and how we progress, going forward.
All right. And, you can't ask for a better opportunity to pick the brain of a veteran than if he's your teammate. So, I think that's a weekend that Harrison and Todd need to really, capitalize on. If I could, have a veteran teammate, I would love to, just so that you can ask them anything. Yeah. Driving points, how to compose yourself. What do I need to do? How do you, where do you push the car or truck in this scenario to be the best? Where do you want it? You can ask them anything. My favorite go-to in the pits was always Elliott Sadler. He used to always, take a little bit of time to just, answer a question or two of mine. And, I didn't want to take up all of his day, but, he was always very nice. And, when I was showing up to tracks and places that I had never been before, and, I show up to states that I'd never even stepped foot in. And I was like, how do I drive here? It's one of those things where it's, I know you want to push the loud pedal and turn left, but, where and when?
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell, a lot of times you want to push a loud pedal and turn right. I mean, I think that's why we love so much watching Kane being fans, and obviously we hold bias here.
Strong bias.
Him getting in a truck, like, he crushed it every time. He didn't do it very often, but he killed it.
Mm-hmm.
But he also let everybody who built a truck that he raced in know that truck is a winning truck.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think Greg Biffle has to do that. He knows we know where he's in a winning truck.
And I think that's the same.
Yeah.
With Biffle.
I think it's going to be cool.
I'm excited for it.
I am too. It's going to be cool to watch. If it was Greg Biffle in any other team's truck, it might be a different story. But it's like, oh, Greg Biffle's right. Oh, that's cool. That's cute. Yeah, he's back. In Kyle Busch's stuff. Oh, you don't say. Well, tell me more. Keep talking dirty.
Keep talking dirty to me.
Oh, with that, let's go ahead and move on to fourth period.
It's been a long school day.
This is I've been trying to do the Reddit shout out, starting to try to do this thing, trying to get into that whole ordeal. From Reddit, user NBR123456 posted something on there I thought was very cool, interesting. Y'all go take a look at it. But apparently Mark Martin, Brett Bodine, and Ernie Irvin were all born within 5 calendar days of each other in the same year.
1959.
And Bodine shares a birthday with my wife. So January 11th, although my wife was not born in 1959.
And that's just an interesting fact.
Yeah, that was just an interesting extra tidbit for you there. So Brandon, do you know anybody who shares birthdays with you? So I've got 2 for me. I was born July 16th. Will Ferrell was born on July 16th, and Barry Sanders was born on July 16th. I knew about those.
I am a groundhog.
That's right.
Born on Groundhog's Day.
Sherwin was born on Groundhog Day. So that's, I mean, you don't even have to look it up.
I had a pledge brother with the same birthday.
Really? Who was it?
Kupta. Mark Kupta. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to look real quick and see if I see anybody. But while I'm looking there, Brandon.
Also, an Alva Z who married, well, no, she used to date Dana. Anyway, that's extraneous. It doesn't matter. Nobody that's listening to us has any idea what that is. That's just garbage.
Yeah. So, do you share birthdays with anybody that you know of, Brandon?
No, not that I'm aware of. I mean, I was born September 14th, 1993, but I do know that I share the same birth year as my university. Not really birth year, but that's the same year that Coastal Carolina University became its own separate entity. It was no longer a University of South Carolina. It became Coastal Carolina University, and they stood on their own. So I guess that's pretty neat.
And my parents just got home from Charleston yesterday, so that's fun.
Well, that's cool.
Charleston's nice.
Yeah. Well, you being born on the 13th means you're the only one among us that could potentially have a Friday the 13th
no, it was 14th,
birthday.
Right? It was
14th.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
As I'm looking,
No problem.
I'm looking through here. I did the quick old Google search. The rapper Nas was born on September 14th. So there you go. You've got
boom.
You share a birthday with Nas. That's good company to have, actually. That's
there we go.
Some rap music that I actually listen to.
Explain some of my rapping career. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a rap career.
There you go. You're going to drop your mixtape in 3 weeks. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's a lot of people September 14th, but It's like, here's an Australian swimmer. I'm like, I'm sorry, nothing against Australian swimmers. I have no idea who you are, though. So, Estonian architect. There you go. There's an Estonian architect who's apparently famous. Actually, are you on this list? That would be cool. What year did you say?
93.
93. No, we need to get you on this list. Because do you have... Oh, yeah, you are. No, dude, you are. Look, go to the Wikipedia page for September 14th, and you are listed. I swear, you're listed. Brandon Brown, American race car driver, 1993. So there you go. You share a birthday with that guy. He's on Wikipedia. That's pretty cool.
Nice. He has his actual own Wikipedia page, too.
That's right. That's right.
Good for you, Brandon.
You know what, Brandon? Have you
I should probably read that and make sure it's accurate.
I was about to say, have you read it before to see if it's actually
some of it actually is.
I need to go look.
You're looking now?
Yeah, I need to.
It'll come up later in the show. We have a question to ask you from somebody you might know, but we'll get to that.
Right. It says his third wife left him in. No, just messing. No, that's funny. It says recently graduated from Coastal Carolina University. You were in Sig Ep, is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's accurate.
Right.
At least.
That was one of the fraternities that we actually got along with when we were at Georgia
exactly.
Tech.
Sig Eps were cool. So we were both Teeks. I don't know if Teek was either there or if they were cool or they sucked where you were, but it doesn't matter to me. 15 years later.
They were there, but they actually got kicked off my freshman year.
Oh, so they were cool.
Oh, yeah. So they were problematic just like we were.
Yeah, exactly. And it says the school served as primary sponsor on Brown's truck and Xfinity car, which is accurate as well. So, you know what? It hasn't been updated in a while. I've always wondered if you update your own page. I've heard of people doing this. Like, they've updated their own page, and then it was rejected, and they're like, dude, it's my life. It's my
I have the information.
Yeah, I know this. I did the thing. I was there. So, anyway, no, that's awesome. Oh, my gosh. Sarah and Bari on the YouTube comments just said, someone needs to edit your page and say that your nickname is Lunch Tray.
There we go.
I think we've created a thing here.
I think that this is going to get a little out of hand, probably. Before it gets too out of hand.
So your race? Are you racing at Michigan? By the way, I'm sorry, Russ.
No, keep going.
Yeah, we're going to be racing at Michigan. We're going to be back in actually the Vero True Social car, like that black one that we ran at Charlotte, but instead of a black body, it'll be on a white body. So, and I'll be in the 86, not the 68. So, trying to get out there and confuse people.
Sweet.
Okay, awesome. Well, we have media passes for Michigan, so we will come try to find you. If you will DM me your cell phone number, we'll try to find you.
Yeah, bring a lunch tray.
We'll give you Holy ish, dude! We're bringing lunch trays.
Oh yeah, lunch trays time. We're stealing one from Wendy's.
I was
going to say
I'm going to steal one too. By the way, this is not. I'm already. This is like
we need to get one of those like silver paint markers.
You can't bring those cheap throwaway styrofoam ones. I'm talking about the real
no. This is for real
plastic. Like, if you have to go to your local high school and get one.
Yeah, or Zaxby's or Wendy's or something.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Somebody's going down one lunch tray.
Somebody's fixing to lose a lunch tray.
The guy at Wendy's is going to look really confused when you're like, "Can I have this?"
We're just walk out with it.
I ain't fixing to ask.
We just walk out. That's the way we do.
Oh man, Sherwin, fifth period. I'm going nerd on y'all for a minute. NASCAR has announced a official partnership with Amazon and AWS, Amazon Web Services, and their cloud hosting solutions and everything. NASCAR is going to put all their archived footage on the AWS cloud, which, here's a few things, Sherwin. Number one, this is huge for sustainability of all that archived footage and stuff. It's now on the cloud. It now can be kind of upgraded
if every race
on a regular
is there,
basis and stuff.
Oh my God, that'd be so cool.
Just the fact that it's stored somewhere where they're thinking about futurizing it, as opposed to stored somewhere in the basement of NASCAR Charlotte.
Well, and so as much as we interact with
idea.
the Scene Vault and Rick Houston
and the issues that they've had,
and
trying
their
to find stuff.
project to get all of their stuff online. Like this is in that movement. Like,
yeah.
Maybe they can, join teams.
So number one, if y'all are nerds, like I'm talking like computer nerd kind of people like me, and you're like, and you're hearing this, it's really cool. AWS, they're putting this thing out there. Also, Sherwin, I am really excited to see a tech company like Amazon get involved, especially with I won't call it cutting edge service because then my nerd friends will laugh at me and be like, AWS isn't cutting edge. That's they've been around for 10 years. But listen, y'all, as far as the public is concerned, this is cutting edge sort of.
Yeah, they're
cloud
Tesla out of
stuff.
this equation.
Right. But the fact that they're getting involved with this thing, really cool to me too, to see something like that. And you know what will happen is Amazon will start giving out some tickets to some of the nerds that are working for them. Y'all, I'm a nerd, right? I work in this industry, so I'm allowed to use that word, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely allowed.
So they'll give tickets out to the nerds and stuff, and some of the nerds will start getting into this thing, like me and you did. You know what I mean?
Being a nerd is the reason why I got into this. Brandon, just so you know, and it's not gained a lot of ground, obviously, because we don't have a large audience, but hashtag nerdneck is a thing. Because
absolutely,
Rusty and I both, like, I'm an engineer by degree. Rusty is a computer programmer, like software engineer by degree. Like, we are absolutely nerds. We just happen to also be rednecks who love racing. And a lot of people that listen to what we're doing or watch what we're doing struggle to understand that, but that's a reality.
I like computers that go fast.
I
and
don't
cars
think
that go
redneck.
fast.
I don't think redneck is an exclusive thing.
Absolutely
I've seen
not.
I don't
rednecks
think
from all
so
different
either.
Backgrounds.
Absolutely not.
I think it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle choice.
Yes, that's a great way to put it.
We've got a lightning round brought to you by Shannon Rowe at Fur Love Cats, FURLUV Cats. And this is all for you, Brandon. We're going to do a lightning round. You just give us...
This is the interview section of the podcast.
That's right.
Alrighty.
Off the top of your head, first thing that comes to mind on each of these, we've got maybe 8 or 10 of them here. Are you ready for it?
Ooh, I guess I'm ready as I'll ever be.
This one, yep. Here goes. All right. Favorite college team?
It's the Chanticleers.
Ice cream.
Yes, sir.
Ice cream.
Ice cream?
Yep.
Ooh, chocolate.
Chocolate. Pizza. Pineapples or no pineapples?
No pineapple.
My
Yes.
man. My man. Favorite racetrack?
See, this one I get tied up in. I know it's a lightning round, but I'm tied between Dover and Darlington.
Dover and
So I guess
Darlington.
since I said Dover first, then I guess I have to go with that.
Love it.
Okay.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Beach.
All right.
Beer or Fireball?
Ooh. See, Fireball and I had a little bad for running, so I'm going to go with beer.
Favorite board game?
Monopoly.
I have no context for this next question, but I'll ask it anyway. Llama or alpaca?
I don't think you wear sweaters, so.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'll go with the alpaca.
Okay. Any show that you're currently binging on?
Ooh. Yeah, I'd say I've been binging on The Office again.
Again, good call.
Steve Carell's a funny dude.
Final question. Favorite series besides NASCAR? Favorite racing series besides NASCAR?
Ooh, that's also tough. Well, I don't know. I'm crossed.
Name
I guess
as many as you
like
want.
favorite
then.
series that I would want to run.
Sure.
Or
No.
I want to run like those like trophy trucks. You know, kind of like what Haley Deegan did.
Yeah.
And you know, all those just look like they'd be a ton of fun. The rally cross cars look like a ton of fun. I mean, dirt racing in general. I kind of wish I had done that. You know, I kind of wish I was involved in that route. It just looks like a blast. I'd never gone to a dirt race before, but right before I went to Eldora in the trucks, I went and watched one, and it was great racing to me. I mean, everybody was all over the track. You know, top lane pulling, the bottom lane sometimes, people dive bombing and slide job. It was great. Which the Eldora race was actually a lot of fun for me too, because I got to use the old GMS. It was the Allegiant Airlines show truck that sat in LAX for like 2 or 3 years, and then they were like, "If you want to use it, here it is.
Have at it."
And so we stripped it down and we went racing, and I got up to like, you know, I think it was like we were running in 6th, and then they threw the halfway break, and people went in and got tires, and we didn't, just for the sake of trying to lead a lap, and then I got kind of schooled by Larson. But hey, you know, I took a show truck and ran it competitively, so I was happy.
That's pretty awesome. So I'm going to add to this list that's not in our show sheet because I know it's going to be a quick answer. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Ooh.
No.
Yes.
My man.
You're correct.
I was hovering, by the way, over the hang up on you button as you were, and like my click hand, I had a finger on the trigger, if you will. And he answered correctly. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Brown, we've got a couple questions from the PTM posse for you. Andrew Higginbotham at the Pyrofretnik. I like
Pyrofretnik.
The Pyrofretnik. That's cool. How big of a boost was it to have such a solid weekend in Pocono? And also, I think you've kind of talked about that one, but also, have you found the switch to the composite bodies to be a good thing for your team?
I'll answer the body part first, the body question. Yes, it's been huge for our team because, I mean, they pop in and out. You know, if you get into somebody, they're easy to, you know, they pop right back out. It's not like the steel body that stays in and cuts in on your tire. So I like that. And I like that it's gotten harder for people to try and cheat up their bodies because it helps us. When we don't have as much knowledge on aero because we've never once stepped foot into a wind tunnel. The closest thing I've ever gotten to a wind tunnel is like, you know, have you ever taken like mom's hairdryer and put like baby powder behind it and watch it blow through? You know, or I can ask one of the guys in my shop to take their vape and like blow across the nose of the car, and that's about as close as I'll get.
Sure.
That's as close as we get. So they help us in that way. Pocono, having a strong finish, it's a huge boost to morale. You know, it was my first weekend back with my main guys over at BMS, running the 86 car again after Mason Diaz ran it at Charlotte. And, you know, not as great of a run at Charlotte for us. We usually struggle there more or less as a team at the 1.5 tracks. It's a program that we're all working on. And again, it's tracks that I wasn't really used to doing. But we're improving on it. So it was a pretty big boost to turn around and get a good showing and a good weekend in for Pocono, and it kind of helped transition us over to Michigan.
Excellent. Well, we're looking forward to Michigan. Obviously, we've got one more question from you from the PTM posse. This one comes from some lunatic named Tommy Joe Martins at Tommy Joe Martins on the Twitter handle. He says, what was it like running a fake Martins Motorsports truck back in 2017 at Daytona and Martinsville?
Actually, if you want to hear something really funny,
yes.
When we got the hero cards done up for that weekend, we were running the Martins Motorsports 44. There was a mix-up in the printing. And the side of the truck on the hero card says 44, but the roof says 86. So if you have one of those hero cards, I would look for it. Nobody's ever pointed it out to me, and I'm waiting. I was always waiting for the day. So now I'm hoping that day is now.
That is awesome.
I suspect Tommy, being who he is, he probably knows that that's the case.
Yes,
and because he's very meticulous. And
dude, Tommy is one of the best personalities that I've I love reading his Twitter, and I like his rants. That it's always a very interesting read. It doesn't matter if you agree with him or not. It's just it's something that's like. It's like watching an argument. It's not something that you're like, I'm really looking for this, but it's kind of something that you can't look away from. You're like, oh, let's see how this goes.
Yeah. Well, I've been a big fan of his podcast that he started, and obviously, yes. I texted him to get that question, so we obviously have a great relationship with Tommy.
That's awesome, though. If somebody out there has that hero card, we need one. We'll pay money for it.
Oh, and we need to glue it to a tray.
A lunch tray. Yes. Oh, it's a thing. It's a thing. We're giving. Oh, that's awesome. With that, Sherwin, let's go ahead and gas it up.
Boom.
We're there. It is. We're going to Michigan, and that's not just in the royal we sense. In terms of all
we
of
are
NASCAR.
Actually going to attend this race,
and I are getting on a plane in 3 days or 4. What day is this? 3 days from now.
2.5 days.
Yeah,
we're getting up early.
Yeah, we got to get up at 5:30 in the morning. But we're getting on a plane, flying to Michigan, going to meet the other Brandon Croud from Lap Traffic, who's going to and Yunker Motorsports,
and all the Yunker folks.
Yes.
B. Wayne and his wife.
B. Wayne.
His 30th birthday, so we're going to get rowdy.
I didn't know he was coming.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm ultra, extra excited now. So with that, few fun facts. Hey, y'all. MOATF podcast. They're coming back soon. They're saying soon. They're ready to hit the airwaves again. Until then, I'm going to continue.
Well, they should.
I'm going to continue to steal David's segment about where we're going. We're going to Brooklyn, Michigan. Sure. And a few fun facts about Brooklyn, Michigan. When there's not a race, they have a population of 1,206 people.
Not a big place.
It's 1.02 square miles is kind of the borders, if you will. The town's named after Brooklyn, New York, originally called Swainsville after its founder, Calvin Swain. And then the townsfolk got together and said, you know what? We need to make this thing a little bit bigger. We need to go from like 7 people to 1,200 people. That'll really put us on the map right there.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna call
move
ourselves
the needle.
That's right, Brooklyn, like Brooklyn, New York, right? Yeah, everybody likes Brooklyn, New York. Sherwin, they have an annual country music festival called the Faster Horses. Festival in mid-July.
It used to be at the ranch that I lived at.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
So they this year's lineup in this 1.02 square mile city, in this city of 1,206 people, they've got Keith Urban, Maren Morris, Toby Keith, Randy Houser, Zach Brown Band, Brothers Osborne, and a list of 40 other people coming to Brooklyn, Michigan. So good on them. Mm-hmm. At the same time, next weekend,
Michigan's always done a great job of giving fans experiences.
Yes. So
going back to Curtis, it's good.
My man Curtis.
You've been to Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn, Michigan?
Sherwin.
Yeah, I went last year.
I have not. So
yeah, was any because the first time I went was 2 years ago. And back when Xfinity cars had those weird spoiler extensions, super surprised because I, like many others, when people say, oh, when they think of New York, they only think of New York City.
Yes.
And when I thought of Michigan, I just thought of Detroit. And I was like, this is going to be a bunch of rundown buildings and old car factories. And it was surprising. It was beautiful countryside. Quick fun fact about it, though. When we were driving from the hotel to the track, there was a sign on the side of the road that said Special Ed's Donut. And I was like, oh boy, what is this? And kid you not, looked on the side of the road and there was a dude selling donuts out of a short bus.
Well,
that is awesome.
Something I cannot speak to.
That is something to see.
So I'm texting right now, Sherwin, online. Robert Schlomer just sent me a pic of a hero card that's on eBay, signed by Brandon Brown. That is that hero card we talked about. I'm telling him, can you, Robert? Can you send me that link to the eBay? I will buy it.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
That'll be in the collection. You have to frame it on a lunch tray, obviously, and put it up. Matter of fact, I think I can add about 600% value onto that thing by gluing it to a lunch tray.
We could probably build that up a lot.
Oh man!
Over the course of the next week, for sure.
But he sent it to me, and I see it right there. That's awesome. I don't know what they're asking for it, but you know what, Brandon?
There's got to be somebody collecting an amount of botched hero cards, because there's no way that mine is the first hero card printed with 2 different numbers.
Brandon, if,
maybe it is. I don't know.
I might solicit your help.
That'd be fun.
I might DM you and say, like, hey, what if you contacted this eBay seller and we're like, look, dude, my name's Brandon Brown. I'm the guy in the picture,
the thing,
and that's my signature. How about we cut a deal? Oh man, how cool would that be? Or maybe like send him some swag or something.
Glue a 44 onto the roof of the truck.
Now that's funny.
Love it.
Shout out to Tommy Joe.
That's right. Sherwin, it is time to go ahead and make some picks for the Cup Series in Michigan. I'm actually looking for the sound effect while I'm saying that.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
So we do
multitask, which
we do
never
picks
works.
for Cup, Brandon. So that's all we do. We don't mess with the other series. For picks, we just do Cup.
There it is.
And we are big fans of Junior's.
Yep. Doing his
auditory
doing his thing right
from
there.
what was that? That was the 2018 Daytona 500.
Right. So Sherwin, last week you picked Blaney, who finished 12th. I picked Jimmy, who finished 19th.
So I think you get to go first.
I get to go first, but
the guest obviously goes
always goes first for the Cup Series. Brandon, who are you gonna pick?
To win Michigan?
To win
I wouldn't be surprised to see, I guess, the hometown guy, Brad Keselowski, win it.
Brad.
Listen to you.
Yeah.
I have picked Brad a lot at Michigan.
He has won there, but it's been like it's been Xfinity
I don't
Series.
know that he
hasn't won in Cup.
Won in Cup.
Yeah, he hasn't won in Cup. So, that's a bold pick, and I think
Penske's been fast as
Penske
balls.
Has been very fast. Sherwin, speaking of things, I'm going Logano.
Joey's
also
Logano?
fast, as it turns out.
All right, well,
it's on
since
you.
I took a couple
weeks
off. I took a couple of weeks off.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to go back to my hometown.
You going? I've already typed it in now.
Yeah.
But say it for the sake of having it.
Yeah. Chase Elliott.
There you go.
That's who I'm going with.
There you go. All three of us left Kyle Larson
on the board.
On the table.
Well, he likes to hit the wall.
Well, he likes to get
everywhere.
Well, if he's not hitting the wall, he's winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But he hadn't won a race in what?
Fair
we're
enough.
at 59 races
but
now.
Is it time? Is it time?
Well, it might be, but I'm not going to gamble on that.
I don't know how that is. So, with that,
he was really good at Michigan for a couple years, for sure.
Yeah. With that, Brandon, we're going to let you roll. We have had an absolute blast. Thank you so much for being on. We always say the measure of a person who has enjoyed themselves means that they would come on again. We would love for you to come on again sometime.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I'd love to get back on.
Awesome. Well, dude, we have had, like I said, we've had a blast. We're gonna let you go. We usually don't let people go live, but we do have a little segment coming up with Brandon Croud from Lap Traffic.
Lap Traffic, who are going to join at Michigan.
That's right. So we'll let you go at this point, Brandon. Thank you. This has been awesome. It's been fun. Lunch tray.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Send us a picture of the lunch tray.
Thank you guys for having me.
We'll see you in Michigan, Brandon.
Yes, sir. I'll see you there.
My man.
Thank
you. Have a
you.
good one. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Dude, Brandon Brown. How cool is that dude? Cool as the other side of the pillow and all that mess. I can call Brandon Croud here. Looks like he's on the old Skype. I'm just going to give him the old ring-a-ding-a-ling.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm not giving him the ding-a-ling. I'm giving him the ring-a-ding-a-ling. There he is. Brandon, what's up, dude?
What's up?
Dude, you are live on the podcast. Look at him sharing video and everything. I wonder if I can pull that in.
Hell yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready.
You know what? Y'all give me 1 second, and I'm going to show you Brandon right here. Sherwin, keep him entertained.
Oh, I'm sure I can. B-Ride.
Boys.
We're going to be there, I want to say, right around noon on Friday.
Oh, if not earlier.
If you guys are there for noon, you will still catch some interviews and the show. I'm very excited about.
So behind the scenes, you're going to tell us where to go because we're not going to have a car. So we're going to be riding around.
I am thinking is I am going to send you guys a pin to the credentials office so you can plug that in the Lyft or Uber.
Okay.
And if he's willing enough to wait around for a minute or two and maybe drop you off under the paddock area, cool. If not, we'll figure something out to get you from the credentials office to the media center area.
Oh yeah,
and
no
get
worries.
your bags strapped off.
That sounds good.
Stuff.
Brandon, I don't know what to say. I am looking super forward to it. I had to tell my employer that I'm sorry I can't do certain things, and I was supposed to have this other interview thing. People have been calling me lately, and I'm like, look, Friday and Monday, no good.
I'm out.
No good, sirs and madams.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm not sure you quite understand, and this is stuff that, like, politically speaking, I probably should not be telling them this, but I don't care. So yeah, that's how it is.
So I caught the tail end there of the interview with Brandon, which was awesome. And Sherwin, you did a nice job selling faster horses there, man.
Yeah, man. I've tried.
I love it. So I got to go on a tirade here. Well, not even a tirade, a tangent, just because I am so stoked about the show that I just posted. You guys have had Jeff Striegel on. You know how awesome of time it is to talk to him. It was a first on the Lap Traffic podcast. I crumpled up pieces of paper, and you know how thick my show notes are. Jeff and I went for about 40 minutes, and I can't follow this up with anything that I've got. I cut stuff out. But the interview with Jeff was so awesome. He was just so dialed in, and it wasn't an interview. It was a conversation. We talked NASCAR, and it was awesome. And I cannot wait for frickin' Friday.
Dude, it's going to be amazing. Hey, you're jumping into the PTM philosophy right there. This isn't an interview. This is a conversation. We're having fun. We're drinking beer with friends. We're having a great time. Hey, great shirt, by the way. Look at that.
Thank you. I like that there. Hey, they hooked me up. I gotta plug them as much as possible.
All right, shout out to Michigan International Speedway.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
That's right.
So you guys now we're still on air, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. This is on the record.
Right. So I'm gonna just remind everybody about what happened the last time that Sherwin had an early flight to MIS. It wasn't made. And so I hope you guys are there at noon. And That's all I'm going to say.
Brandon, there is a responsible adult who will be.
It was not me.
Sherwin, are you going to Rusty's Thursday night, I guess is the question.
Clearly.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it, but that should be the right play.
Clearly. Clearly. And we didn't say, I mean, are we still live on the iTunes as well?
Yes, we're live on everything.
So next week, we're going to have Sydney, who's the person who sings our intro music and outro music.
That's right.
I want to, plug that.
That's right. Brandon, stick
But
around.
yes, I'll be here Thursday so Rusty can make sure I wake up.
Wait, you know what? Before we do, Brandon, let's get a pick out of you for the Cup race at Michigan so that we can write it in the show notes.
Awesome. So Jeff and I had a fun time with the picks this week, and I'm going Homer. I was a fan before a podcast, and it's the home track. Stuart Haas desperately needs a win.
Ooh.
Kevin Harvick won the August race. Kevin Harvick for the win.
For the win.
Okay.
There it is.
Well, I picked Chase, and Rusty, you picked
Joey.
And
Brandon
so we're all
Brown picked Brad K.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of Fords and one
I like the Chase Elliott
hometown
pick.
Chevy.
I'm not going to lie. I do like that. Bill Elliott had a lot of success at MIS. I know Chase probably that's got to be one of his top 5.
Well,
tracks
Chase
he
has
wants to get a
5
win
straight
at.
top 5s, so he's kind of knocking on the dough.
Y'all stick around for the post podcast show if you're on the YouTube. If not, we're going to go ahead and close this thing down.
iTunes is out.
That's
We're
right.
done.
We'll talk to y'all soon. Going to Michigan. If you're going to Michigan, you got to come see us. Come,
Tweet up Sunday.
slide into the DMs and all that mess.
Come see us and the Yunkers and Brad Morris and his wife.
That's right. Brad Morris, whoever it is.
Brett Morris. Good
Morris.
God. Jesus.
With that, y'all know where to find us. PTMpodcast.com, at PTM Podcast, and at Michigan International Speedway this weekend. So, as always, I'm Rusty Wallace at Tailgate Mayor. We want to thank Brandon Brown and Brandon Croud for being on the show. Sherwin.
Yeah, Brandon Squared tonight. Follow me on Pregame Engineer on Twitter and at Andrew Earl Sherwin on the Instagram.
And we will talk to y'all next week about how much fun we had at Michigan.
We are NASCAR.
There it is, Brando. That's the show. And still live on the YouTube.
Awesome.
On the tuber still, for sure.
That's right.
Fantastic.
But we're done with the show part. I got to race like a piss horse. And I also need to go ahead and get this audio to begin to render. So we have to render it first, and then we have to do stuff. Sherwin, 198 episodes in the book.
Dude, that's so cool. 200.
We have...
So close, so close, so close.
Sherwin did really well, and I think we have a thing for 200. I don't think, Sherwin, that we should,
Awesome.
Sell it yet.
I don't want to sell it yet, but I think people are going to be really excited about who we have for 200.
That's right.
That's awesome.
I think people should be excited about who we have for 199. I mean, hell, everybody
198,
likes the
199.
music.
This is super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Everybody likes the music that we have that we use on the front end and the back end of the show. So
you have the best music of any podcast.
That's right.
The author and orator of that music is going to be on our show next
Maybe we
Tuesday.
should ask her when we start if we could
use another piece.
No. If we could sing the song with her as our intro.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Or have her sing it or something like that.
Or just do it like acoustic?
Acapella. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I was literally just going to say a little acoustic cut. That would be awesome.
She can play the
Talladega,
shit.
We know what it is. We've seen it so many, or we've
She
heard it so
can
many
play
times.
the shit out of the guarantee
I guarantee you. So anyway, all right, quick. Race like a piss horse. I'm gonna go pee.
All right.
BRB.
So I'm here.
We got you. We got it covered.
Rusty didn't press stop, so I got to keep talking.
That's right.
Well, we can keep it going.
Yeah.
All right. So how about this? If y'all missed it, I tweeted out some artwork that's going to be making its way to T-shirts.
I saw the back of the Mustang. Was that what you're referring to?
Yes.
It looks good.
Yeah. No, I tweeted out the full.
Who is the artist?
Tweet. I can't wait. I can't wait for those to come out. Dude, I can't wait for you guys to come out to MIS, man. We are going to have a blast. The coolers are going to be stocked. The food is prepped. Man, it's going to be an awesome time. Dude, Sherwin, I've been going to MIS since I was a kid. This is the first time that I will ever be camping at MIS.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah, like it's either been just driving, back in the day, just go out on Sundays. And then, the wife's friends used to live in downtown Brooklyn, so we used to stay with them. Then we used to stay with old Gare. So now it's camping time at MIS.
Well, so the only thing I was concerned about is like I don't want to tear your tent up because if Brad's camp spot, if he's got a full hookup with a fifth wheel, is probably going to be mostly gravel.
Yes.
So I don't know.
But the thing is it sleeps 12 people. So like we've got like you and Rusty are going to have like your own little like bunk room. Like it's got separations and shit. Like
shit.
We are
Here's the deal.
golden.
As long as everybody else has earplugs, me and Sherwin are perfectly happy.
Yeah, everybody else needs to wear earplugs.
So here's the thing. So I'm bringing the tent that y'all are very familiar with. I got the air mattress. I told Rusty, I told Sherwin, I don't know if he relayed this to you yet, but I'm bringing some empty coolers for you guys. Lindsay and I are going to bring you guys blankets and fresh towels and all that kind of stuff so that you don't have to waste packing space with all that stuff. But they've got a 12-person fifth wheel. It sleeps 12.
Is there someone who can wash my balls as well? Because I just will not camp without that. I mean, holy crap, dude! No, that's amazing. That's awesome.
We are going to be well taken care of. I got the cornhole boards ready to go with lights. So if we want to play at night, we're going to be good there. I've got the portable Bluetooth speaker with wireless mic if we want to get crazy and do a little karaoke.
Sherwin, it's supposed to be upper 70s during the day and like 50s and low 60s at night. We hadn't had that in 4 months here in Atlanta.
Dude, I kid you guys not. This is setting up to be the best weather weekend Michigan's had all year. The curse of PETM is over.
Don't call it yet. Jesus, don't do that.
Once the checkered flag drop, I mean, it's party on. Like I am. We're gonna have a good time.
It's that's gonna be fantastic.
Are we still live on the YouTube?
Oh yeah,
we are.
Oh yeah,
we are.
All right, so I'm gonna. Can I give an exclusive?
Please.
Yes.
All right, I am going to drop right now, only for those on the YouTube right now, 2 of the guests that are scheduled for Friday. You ready for this?
Look out.
The 1 and 2 finishers this past weekend in the Xfinity Pocono race, Cole Custer and Tyler Reddick.
Holy crap on a pita. That sounds awesome.
Woo!
I had those lined up like 3 weeks ago, and when they finished 1-2 this past weekend, I reached out, did a double confirmation with them, like, hey, we're still good, right? Because I'm stoked. Like, that just worked out too perfect.
Ah, dude, that's awesome, man.
Yes. So what did Brian say about the weather for MIS? Did he what was his percentages? Give the YouTube folks a little bit of a preview.
So Brian said that the weather Friday, spin the mic around. Weather for Friday and Saturday is perfect. He goes, there is a very limited chance on Sunday, but gave the odds of racing on Sunday at 80%.
Boom. So, good enough.
On a on a Tuesday afternoon report, I will take that. And also, Brian is going to send in a extra recorded segment for the bonus show on Friday.
Perfect.
Cool
Michigan has lights, right?
Yeah.
Michigan. No, Michigan doesn't
has
have lights.
0 lights.
Okay.
No lights.
All right.
No
what was I
lights.
thinking of?
No.
I might have been thinking of. Well, I can't remember what I was thinking of. Okay, so no lights. So we'll race the clock there, but at 80%, shoot, that means we're getting in at least 50% of the the That's what we're looking for.
I only saw two rain shortened races last year.
There's the ARCA race Friday night. I've already texted the Orange Cone. He's going to be popping in early Friday morning. I don't know if you guys will be there for the Orange Cone's part of the show, but he will be on the show, and he's going to be around all weekend, which is awesome. Can't wait to catch up with him. And man, this weekend's a lot of work, but it's so much fun. I cannot wait to get out to the track. And here's a funny thing. So I want to get my obviously, you guys know I'm a little OCD by now. You guys know me well enough. So I want to get out to the track Thursday, where Lindsay and I are taking a half day. We're getting out there. I want to get the credentials, but Brad is not going to be able to bring the fifth wheel out till about 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So in honor of Firekeepers Casino, who is the race sponsor and who also was kind enough to donate tickets and call into the show, I go to Lindsay. I go, well, let's go out. We'll get our credentials. We'll have a couple hours to kill. It's a 30-minute drive. Let's go support Firekeepers Casino. So we might go out to Firekeepers for an hour or two Thursday and probably make a donation and come back to the campsite, set up, and we'll have cocktails ready for you guys as soon as you get out there.
Rock on.
Excellent. Oh boy, so I just upgraded our website to the latest version of everything they have, and now I'm like, I do not know how to make podcasts go. So I will need to figure out how to make podcasts go in the next few minutes here. I'm sure it will be fine. But yeah, that's funny. It's like,
well, it'll certainly be on YouTube for a while.
Yeah.
It's
forever.
So weird how every once in a while you just get like this tech glitch that just happens after it's like, been doing this, 200 shows, 130 was mine tonight, and it's just like, how the hell does this tech glitch happen tonight? It's never happened before. Like,
yeah, I won't even call this a glitch. It's just different, and I'm like, whoa, wait, what do I do? Because I spent today upgrading our stuff, and now I'm like, I think this will work. Publish. Are you ready to publish? Sure, why not? See if it works.
Hell yeah.
Boom, shakalaka.
Now if I go to ptmpodcast.com, and I go to June 2019, does it look similar? No, that kind of looks weird. Yeah, I might have to play with that. I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. Hey-o.
NASCAR Banter posted something about Brandon Brown's signed deal on eBay.
Oh, yeah?
Just randomly decided to tag us.
Oh, yeah?
Obviously you listened.
Sweet.
I heard about that. The numbers on the roof of the side of the car and the hero card were off or something like that?
Yeah, like the number on the side of the car was 44, but the number on the roof was 68.
Yes.
That's great. Shit, that's funny.
Okay.
That's funny.
Yes, that's what I want. Update. No, wait. Shoot. How do I... Convert to HTML. Ahref equals that. That/A. Okay, preview. That's
Matt,
it. That's what I want.
Too
Update.
much. That's too much math at 10:45.
I know. This is the thing
Yeah,
I
I'm
do.
like, Jesus. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's try it now. Let's see if that worked. Okay. That looked like it worked. Let's see if FeedBurner and feeds.google.com, blah, 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 all this mess. It's cool because it happens instantly if it works. Now I have to figure out if it works because...
It's on Podbean.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely
And last week hit 202. Woo!
definitely on Podbean. Let's see if we are updated here. 198. It's up. Sweet.
Nice.
We are officially up on iTunes and Google Play and everywhere else. Just need to do a little bit of editing here on the main page, and then I'll be done.
I gotta check Google. I don't know if mine actually posts to Google Play or not.
When I do the update right there, it automatically pushes to everywhere, and then I check my phone just to make sure it's on at least those two places. So.
Yeah, I gotta check that. Like when I this new network that I post to, that happens instantly, which is good. Just like when I post to iTunes and all
Bravos.
that. But I gotta. I don't know if it goes. I know it goes to like Spreaker, Stitcher, and all that. But I've had a couple of people say, like, hey, I haven't found it on Google Play, and I thought I set that up. So I'm going to have to go check that out the next week or so and see if I actually post to that or not.
Yeah. You know, they tried to make it easier. Like, hey, look how cool this is. You can just edit in place. And I'm like, I would rather, because I'm a nerd, I'm like, I'd rather just see the actual, what do you call it, the code. And
right. Yeah.
Yeah. I know how to edit the code real quick. I can do that in no time. And now I'm staring at this thing like, where in the hell am I supposed to put this thing? So let's see. June 4th. 6 is the number of the month, not the day. Okay,
and
there's
speaking of nerd, you guys need to do a T-shirt, something with #NerdNack, #NerdNack. That would be awesome.
That's not a bad idea at all. Actually, let's preview. Let's see how this works. Oh, WordPress is doing that. Everything looks good. It looks like we actually have, if I go to ptmpodcast.com, should be up on the main page now. You know what sucks about it is that I have to go through more steps now to go to the code, which again, I mean, that's how I live. I live in code.
You live in code.
And so
10110011.
Oh, it's straight out of the Matrix. I just see blonde, brunette, redhead, whatever. But now I have to actually get to a different spot to see the blonde, brunette, redhead, everything. So last thing I believe is I need to share it on Twitter. ptm.podbean.com and do this thing and that thing and blah, blah, blah. Share, copy. This is the part where Sherwin is usually keeping you, company, but I have to do this on my own here because Sherwin is taking a tip.
I was going to say, Sherwin's knee deep in a refill, I'm betting right now.
No, the refills are here. Let's see.
Man.
Boom. Later, Brandon Croud from I need to @ you here. Don't
Hell
at
yeah.
me, bro. I'm fixing to @ you, bro.
You at me. You at me all you want.
There it is. Tweet. The tweet is out. Next is going to our main page
Let me get to
and making sure that's
Twitter.
Damn, I just
Tweet that out.
And I have to retweet that thing and blah blah blah. There we go. Pin to profile page. Pin it, and all right. All of my duties are complete.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Good
Excellent.
deal. So with that, y'all, we're going to shut down the live stream. We're going to go into PTM after dark, with just the.
Oh wow, you guys.
Yeah, that's the dark that you don't get to see.
You just get like big old armpit there.
That's right. So thank you, Brandon, for being on. Thank you, other Brandon, for being on. We will talk to y'all next week, and hopefully see you at Michigan if you're going to be there.
Sure.
We'll be there soon. Brandon, any closing remarks?
Man, if you're there, come say hi. I got koozies. Come see PETM. I just can't wait to get out to the freaking track on Thursday, man.
Peace out, y'all.
Woo!
See ya.